Hey, it's time to crank up the truth. I'm Val Selby, and over the decades of working online, I've learned a most important lesson. Mindset owns your business. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then I'm here with Val Full Volume, ready to help you see choices that you're making. Get ready to own your personality and use your expertise to create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. So let's get to it. Hello. I feel like I need to be saying welcome back, but I mean, you don't even know that I've been gone, right? You probably know if you've been on my list, right? It's been an odd February, an amazing and odd February. I turned 50 on the 4th, and we were gone to Vegas for a week so that we could do all of the nerdy things like go to the mob museum again, because we didn't feel like we got to go through it enough the first time. And we hit the neon museum. 10 out of 10 recommend both of those. We went to the Pro Bowl because that was the day after my birthday, and it was in Vegas also. And then the most amazing thing ever, my family, we don't do surprises in my family. We just don't. Not really any reason. We're horrible liars. I guess that would be the reason. We're really horrible liars. So come to find out, oh gosh, whole story. Let me just set this up for you. So on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd, my kids had bought me a full day at the spa. One of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. They bought me 2 treatments, and then I had full use of the spa at the Encore. The Win. Absolutely gorgeous 5-star resort spa. Absolutely amazing. Felt like a queen, felt like the queen I am. So then we're just going to do dinner and chill out that day because I was chill, period, the end. I was 100% chill. So chill, in fact, that I left my phone. You're getting the whole scoop. I left my phone in the back of my Lyft ride because I set it down, and I never, ever, ever do that in a Lyft, ever in an Uber or a Lyft. I always have my phone in my hand as a woman traveling by herself. We know this, right? And I set it down because I was so relaxed. So that took days to get back. Anyways, so that had already been planned. We are just going to stay at our hotel casino, and we're just going to eat there that night and just hang out and just be chill. So we went downstairs, and my husband took me like the roundabout way through the back of the casino. We stayed at El Cortez, which is it's not big. So I was like, oh, okay. He wants to go down and look at the pictures again down the hallway, whatever. We'll go down this way. And we came back up towards the restaurant where we were going to eat. And I stopped, and I might cry right now. Anyways, it could happen. I'm not a crier. We were walking, and all of a sudden I looked up, and my daughter's face is there. And I mean, I'm crying, full flood of tears. I'm like, oh my God. And then my son's behind her, and then her boyfriend is behind them. So all of those stinkers had been planning it since before Christmas, and we all got together at Christmas, and I'm like, how the hell did you guys keep this a secret? They're like, we weren't sure we were going to be able to keep it a secret. Dad called me up, gave me the credit card. He's like, plan the flights, go book the flights. You guys come on down for the weekend. And that was before Christmas, and we all got together for Christmas. I'm like, how in the world with us drinking and laughing and joking around did it not come out? She's like, we had to make a pact that we did not talk about your birthday at all because we knew it would come out. So needless to say, it was easily the best birthday I have ever had in my life. And I used to be the birthday martyr. And that's a whole nother story. So the fact that I just rolled into 50, having the best experience all the way around, and with my family there, and we had a great time. And I still got to celebrate my son's birthday. His birthday's the day after mine. So we all got to celebrate it together. So amazing. So I was gone for that. Okay, so now I'm recording and it's a week later from getting back. My brain just came back yesterday. We stayed, like I said, at the El Cortez because I wanted to stay there. I wanted the experience. They had super cool retro rooms. It's, the oldest hotel was owned by Bugsy Sigal. I don't know if you're into all the nerdiness. And that's where they trained people before they took them to the Flamingo. And it still looks like history. Unfortunately, it still smells like history. And unfortunately, they must not have changed their ventilation system in at least 30 years. I'm really allergic to smoke, like really allergic to smoke. And I'm not around it very much. I live in Washington. We don't have smoking available anywhere anymore, except for on the First Nation casinos. And we hardly ever go there, because we're not gamblers. So there's no reason for us to go there. Even our pillows were just like full of smoke. It was literally like staying at my grandparents' house growing up. When we came home, even the clean clothes that we hadn't worn, I had to rewash. I promise there's a reason for why I'm going through all of this. I have not had an allergy issue like I had when I got home in decades because I'm not around smoke. I don't have cats. We're pretty careful about it so that I don't get sick. And all of a sudden on Wednesday, I'm feeling like hell, absolute hell. Brain is leaving the building. Luckily, because of COVID, we constantly have the meds on the ready. So I'm taking those and like by Wednesday night, I'm feeling it drop in my chest. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't felt this happen in decades. This is, I used to get bronchitis every single year growing up. And it just felt like that. And I really had to pull my brain back into, okay, this is happening. We're chilling out. We're going to go and chill, Meanwhile, I've been gone for 7 days, right? Gone for 7 days, unplugged. I didn't even have my phone, remember? Didn't have my phone for over 48 hours. I was completely unplugged. And I'm like, oh my God, I have so much I want to get done. But my brain said, no, it's not happening. So luckily, the meds all helped me feel a lot better. And I did just chill. And where this is going is the whole procrastination thing came up because I got to a point where I'm starting to feel a little better because, the meds are making my symptoms better. They're not helping with the brain fog. My brain was just like way out there. Hilarious story about that, but that would be off topic. But I started getting to the point where I'm like, oh my God, am I just being lazy? Because I'm just sitting here with my laptop and I'm hardly even working. I've got my laptop on my lap watching TV, really not even watching TV. And I'm going, oh my God, are we just, my brain's going everywhere. Are we just this lazy? What's happening? Are we not working anymore? Are we done? Like blown weirdo sicko panic, right? And finally I got enough brain power on, Friday, and I started just like doing little things here and there. Thank goodness, before we left for our trip, I had made a list of things that had to get done when I got home. It was a nice short list, so I could slowly work through those things because the list had been there. But then I'm like, I need to do something else. I can't. I'm like, okay, I don't have any brain power. I don't have any energy, but I also am like sitting here going, I'm going to start freaking out if I'm not working my business right now. I'm not at a point where I can take weeks and weeks off. I'm not there. So I'm like, oh my God. So I started looking through and doing this and doing that and getting back to doing my emails. And I'm looking at it going, gosh, I went through my group for some reason and it's like procrastination just keeps popping up. And I'm like, damn. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just talk about that. And then I started talking about that. And then next thing I knew, all of a sudden it led into, we've got like a full blown tons of procrastination posts going on. I guess that's not a challenge. We don't even have a name for it. I've just deemed that we're going to hit procrastination hard for the next few weeks. We're going weeks into this. So one thing, if you have a group that you are running, it is so key for you to use the group questions. And of course, I'm talking about Facebook group. Use the group questions for joining for your benefit. So one of the questions I ask is, what's your biggest stumbling block in your business right now? And I have a Google sheet, so I keep track of all of the answers in there. And all you have to do is do a quick scroll and you'll see that I would say it's possibly 2 out of 3 of the answers are talking about procrastination in some way. It's that big. And I'm like sitting there going, like I said, I'm not even sure why I pulled that Google sheet up, but I did. I was meant to be pulling it up and I took a look at it and I'm like, oh my God. And how much have we addressed this? And how much do we talk about this is important to keep track of and then use it? And maybe I've talked about it here and there a little bit, but I've never dove into it. And it's obviously, I felt like maybe I'm procrastinating. Am I putting stuff off? What am I putting off? Because we're all typically putting something off. And, clients, working with a couple of clients in the last couple of months. And it's like, you know what? Let's hit this hard. So we are. Go join the group. It'll be in the show notes. Go join the group. The posts are all going to be there. I might make something more formal out of it. It will still be free because I'm running it through the free group. But for right now, just jump on board immediately and get in there and you can start answering questions. But one of the things I wanted to address or talk about today about procrastination is why we're not doing the things. And there's no one answer. And that's why it can be so difficult to figure out. Because half the time we'll just go with me, for example. I'm a procrastinator. I have procrastinated for as long as I can remember. I'm one of those girls that always wrote her papers at the last minute, and my grades were always good. So that didn't help me not procrastinate, right? Until I got to college. That was a different story. We're not going there. But, elementary school, all through secondary school, I could easily just sit down and write my papers the night before. So I was rewarded for my procrastination because I didn't have to worry about it before doing it the night before. So I know this about me. I also know that I do that on some projects as well. I also know that drives me a bit bonkers because then I sit there with the not perfectionism, I don't think, but I will sit there and go, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that, but I don't have time now. So for some things, that has been better. So I'm not doing too much into a program, but for other things, it has made it harder for me to market because in my brain, I wanted to do this, 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 and this, and I didn't give myself enough time. So procrastination has its place for me, unfortunately, because if I wait until a deadline, then all of a sudden it has to get done. And I typically will bust butt because it's the deadline, right? But then I also sometimes beat myself up about the stuff. So, but that wasn't the point, right? The point for today is there's so many reasons why we could be procrastinating, why you could be putting things off. There's obvious reasons that we ignore life. Sometimes life happens and there's no way to reschedule around it. It's very black and white of this thing in life has to happen. This stuff over here, business and other life stuff will not happen. It just won't. There's just not time. I was talking to a client of mine today about that, because there's been some issues that she's been doing with family for the last year and a half. And there's just no way around it. The things in her life take precedent over anything else. And, just like back in the day when my stepmother-in-law got sick and then my father-in-law got sick and our choice was 100% to be there. And that meant there was a lot of other stuff that didn't happen that was on our list that was a major goal even. And that was a choice, but it's also a choice that we don't beat ourselves up about. There was no other option for us. This was number one priority, taking care of them and being with them as much as we possibly could. So all of that stuff that didn't get done or that got moved 2 years later is okay. It's okay. That wasn't procrastination, right? In my head, sometimes Stuff like that will pop in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm putting it off. And it's like, no, 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 no. Not this January, but last January, my dad had his heart attack and then went in for surgery. It was really hard mentally to get any work done. And I had to give myself permission to not get the work done. It wasn't procrastinating. It was the fact that I could not mentally and emotionally do all the things. I couldn't just work through work and pretend that I could be there and be present in my work at the same time. That was a real thing. It's not procrastination. It's not. But we have to wrap our head around the fact that that's a choice and the choices needed to be made. So sometimes it's just legit life and we need to give ourselves a break. Move that stuff on, move it way ahead, move it to somewhere appropriate, change those deadlines because they're not going to happen because life happened and we didn't have control over it. And the choice is to be in life, right? That's a big reason why we're working for ourselves, for one, is to be present. So there's life things. Ooh, that got deep, didn't it? And it's really crazy because like the sun went behind a cloud. So it got darker in my office at the same time. Ooh. So we have life. Life gets in there and makes changes. And that's not procrastination. It's just the fact that we have to revamp what we had planned on doing. But then there's the other aspects of why we're procrastinating. There's sometimes for business stuff, there's things that we just really don't like doing. And we need to take a look at. Do we need to do them? Can we pass it on to someone else to do? Or does it just not even have to happen anymore? Maybe it's something that you feel like you should be doing, but you don't want to do it. So take a look. Does it have to happen? Is that the direction that you have to go? There's legit reasons of you might have to learn something new. You might have to learn a new platform. You might have to figure out, go take a workshop to figure out how different pieces are going to work together. So that'll put off doing the work for sure. Because you're like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. I have to go and take this workshop. I have to figure this out. This old dog doesn't want to learn new tricks. I just don't want to. And that'll make me push stuff off for sure. It's like, I don't want to sit and learn that today. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And keep moving it away. When you find that you've got something on your list that you keep moving, take a look. Something's going on. Something's going on. Other reasons why you might not be doing the things, besides the fact that life gets in the way, because life is life, or you might have to learn something new, or you might not want to do it. There are times when we have to pay attention that we might not be doing what we want to be doing. And that's a hard one. That's a really, really hard one. Some of us have multiple websites, multiple businesses. We're creative. We talk about how creative we are. We do this, we do that. We want to do this, we want to do that. We've got 5 million ideas rolling at the same time. And that is a form of procrastination for sure. That is one I have battled decades with. I didn't want to hear it. I did not want to hear it from any of the coaches. No, that I needed to get one thing rolling first before I worked on anything. I can do it all. No, you can't. I can't. We can't. We can't do it all because all we're doing is spreading our time out and we only have so much time to work on stuff. So that leads to procrastination because then it's like you're only doing the favorite things in each of the businesses. So, for example, if emailing is your favorite thing, then all you're doing is emailing to multiple lists for the multiple different ideas. When are you going to create products if you're doing that? Are you going to create products if you're doing that? It doesn't leave enough room for stuff. It's a form of procrastination. Adding more ideas and not following through on the other ones is a form of procrastination. And I can tell you that for sure because that's one of my forms of procrastination. A big one is looking for the outside answers. I just did this. I'm sending out the email here in just a little bit about it. It's got to do with today's post in the group even. So look for that. It's a couple of days ago now that you're getting this on Tuesday. When I'm putting things off, I tend to go look outside for the answers. I don't need to look outside for the answers. Neither do you. You know what you need to be doing, and we just have to do it. So, those are some of the reasons why you and I are not doing the things, but definitely pay attention to them so that you can acknowledge it and work past it. Your comfort zone. If it's something new that you are trying, it's very easy to put it off. It's like, it's scary. Your brain's going to try and protect you. It's like, no, I don't want to do the thing. I don't know what I'm doing. All the imposter syndrome, all the other bullshit comes into your brain. And then you're like, tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't want to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. Because it's new, and new just equals scary. Brain-wise, just equals scary. So take a look. If you are moving things to tomorrow, take a look at what it is and what you're telling yourself as you're moving it. It's really key to start honing in on what you're telling yourself. Really key. And it's not like going to be smacked upside the head. Like, here's the sentence that you're telling yourself. For some of us, we have to really pay attention, like really pay attention. Because half the time I don't even realize that I'm telling myself something, because it's not like this voice is saying, Val, don't do this. It's scary. And that's what I expect. Wouldn't that be so much easier? It would be so much easier if our brain would just do that. But it's not usually telling me anything. It's just like putting up the wall. Nope, I don't want to do that today. And so I have to work through, okay, what's going on? What is it? Why does it keep happening for this? Is this the same thing? Oh my gosh, 3 years ago, I was going through the same thing. I have to start correlating. All right. So that's the beginning of procrastination, figuring out why you're not doing the things. Start paying attention. If you're moving things down the list, start paying attention to why. Life in the way, life taking precedent over that to-do list. You don't want to do it. Maybe it's the wrong thing to be doing. Maybe it's new and scary. Maybe you have to learn something, so you think it's going to take even longer than it actually probably will. Lots of different reasons. We have so many different reasons. And then it gets even worse if we've got a combo of different reasons, right? So the good news is you can figure out the procrastination is happening and you can stop it. You can figure it out. You can catch your flags and you can start squashing it down and saying, nope, we're doing this. And there's obvious ways to get through that. So we'll talk about that later. All right. All right. Thanks for being here. Join me over in the group. Again, it's down in the show notes. Join me in the free group. Let's talk about procrastination. Don't deal with it alone. Come and hang out with us. We are giving each other different advice, because you know what happens when you give and share your advice? It gets more ingrained in your head, and then you pick up on it, which is perfect, so that you can start self-coaching a little bit and working through it on your own. All right. I'll talk at you next week. Thanks for listening to Val Full Volume. If you are done spinning in circles and procrastinating, check out my quick workshop, 14 Biz Actions. Action creates change. Now go out there and create the biz of your dreams.